Hello, I'm Justin Hartree. I'm here at the Oxfam Supply Centre in the UK. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Pak Flat tank. I'm going to tell you what it is, how to assemble it, and how and where to install it. The Pak Flat tank, it will hold 1,000 litres of water, yet comes in this compact package which weighs 26 kilos. This makes it easy to transport and store and to carry up to height. When assembled, the tank comprises of the rigid outer shell, a food-grade PVC inner liner, which has 3 threaded connections for your fittings. Let's take a look at what they are, have a look inside the box, and then I'll show you how to assemble it. Here's one I've already opened. There are 4 plastic panels which make the walls. These have a shiny side and a rough side, and they all have a hole. There are 4 aluminium strips for joining the panels, and the strips have a narrow side and a wider side. These are the lid and the base, and this is your liner. The liner has 3 connections fitted. There are 2 for the top and 1 for the bottom. The liner is held to the rigid shell by these nuts. Moving on, we have the fittings. For your outlet, there's a valve, and there are a selection of reducers and other fittings to connect to your pipework or the taps you're going to use. We provide a simple elbow here for the inlet, and the third one is for the air valve. This allows air to go in and out as the tank fills and empties. This has a gauze to stop insects going in. These are all threaded fittings, so it's essential to use your PTFE plumber's tape to make sure that your fittings are watertight. There's a blanking plate for the hole you're not going to use, and there are some screws fixing the top of the tank into place. Right, let's have a go at putting it together. So the only tools you will need are a screwdriver and then a strap wrench or an adjustable wrench for your fittings. You can put the tank together on your own, but it's much easier if you have an extra pair of hands, so get a colleague to help. Jonathan and I are going to assemble it now. Assembling the Pak Flat tank is easy and very quick. First, connect 3 panels together with the holes at the top by sliding over the aluminium strips. Make sure that the shiny side of the panel and the narrow side of the aluminium strip are facing the inside of the tank. The 4th panel is added with the hole at the bottom. Now form it into a circle by pushing against a wall and slide the last aluminium strip to complete the cylinder. This is the bit where you really do need another person. Push it into an oval to make the walls as straight as possible when you're fixing the last aluminium strip. Now place the assembled shell onto the base and you can install the liner. Lay out the liner on top of the tank with the 2 white connectors facing up and the one with the yellow cap facing down. Remove the yellow cap and lower the liner into the tank shell and pull the lower connector through the hole. If your hand is too big to get through the hole, just lift the tank off the base and grab the connector from underneath. Then pull the 2 other connectors through the top holes on the opposite sides of the tank, securing with the nuts. Blank off the remaining hole. Stretch out the liner inside the tank to ensure that it will fill evenly. Screw the inlet elbow onto the top fitting. Screw the outlet valve onto the bottom fitting. Always use PTFE tape on threaded fittings to prevent leaks. Add the breather to the remaining fitting at the top. To finish off installing the liner, put in about 15 litres of water to make sure the bottom of the liner spreads out properly. Finally, put on the lid and secure it with the self-tapping screws. And then you're finished. With a bit of practice, you should be able to do the whole process in under 10 minutes. Because the tank is so lightweight and portable, you can install them almost anywhere. But when you're planning your distribution, there's a couple of things to bear in mind. If you're going to have people coming to the tank to collect water, if you install a tap here, for example, you've got to make sure the outlet is going to be higher than whatever the receptacle they're going to use is. In this case, a bucket, but it might be a can or a bowl or whatever. In another situation, you might be attaching a hose or pipes to take it to a distribution point. For example, this is our tap stand. You've got to make sure that the outlet from the tank is going to be higher than the outlet from the distribution point. And you want this to be probably about a meter and a half higher than the tap. So in our situation here, we put the tank up on the next level. The higher the tank, the better the flow at the tap. The other thing to remember is that when they're full, these tanks are going to be 1,000 kilos. That's a ton. That's about the same as a small car or the starting 11 of Dynamo Kyiv. Every situation is going to be slightly different, but remember, it's always your responsibility to make sure that the platform for each tank is going to be strong enough to take the weight. There's going to be situations where you want to mount this at the first floor of a building to create the pressure to flow down to the ground floor. In these situations, make sure that you're installing the tank above a supporting wall or the steel I-beam. You don't want to be the person who ends up risking people's lives rather than saving them. Now, you can connect these tanks together and to create more storage. There's a lot of different ways you can do this, but just get in touch if you've got any questions. The last thing, and possibly one of the most important, is this is a storage tank. This is not a transport tank. Do not fill this with water and put it on a truck to try and move it around. So that's it. Everything you need to know to get started with a flat pack tank. If you have any questions or comments, please get in touch with us via the website. Thanks for watching.